Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Welcome to lesson number 7 of Qassasun Nabiyeen, or the stories of the prophets. Inshallah, today's lesson we'll be reading over the story of, or continuing the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam, and where he's, you could say, questioning, okay, who created him. Okay, actually, this is, because he was given hikmah, and we already know that he believed. This is actually showing other people that this was something that was nonsensical, right? So that he was showing other people around him by questioning these other things that their belief, you could say, is nonsensical, and it only makes sense to believe in one God. Okay, so anyways, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So man Rabbi, who is my Lord? وذات ليلة رأى إبراهيم كوكبا فقال هذا ربي. So one night Ibrahim alayhi salam saw planets, or you could say the stars, okay, or a star. Kawakib would be the jama, so kawkaban would be the singular. And so he said, هذا ربي, this is my Lord. Okay, now kawkaban, just one thing really quickly to mention. So it could be really, is probably planet is a better translation, because a najmu is for star, right? Okay, and nujum for stars, and kawkab is planet, or kawakib is for the planets. So I think that's the best translation to use over there. So one night, basically, the translation would go, one night Ibrahim alayhi salam saw a planet. So he said, this is my Lord. وَلَمَّا غَابَ الْكَوْكَبُ فَقَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ لَا هَذَا لَيْسَ بِرَبِّي. So, and when غَابَ الْكَوْكَبُ, so when the planet disappeared, okay, it could no longer be seen, Ibrahim alayhi salam said, no, okay, هَذَا لَيْسَ بِرَبِّي, this cannot be my Lord. Okay, this can never be my Lord, you could say. وَرَأَى إِبْرَاهِيمُ الْقَمَرَ فَقَالَ هَذَا رَبِّي. So Ibrahim alayhi salam, and Ibrahim alayhi salam saw the moon. So he said, this is my Lord. وَلَمَّا غَابَ الْقَمَرُ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ لَا هَذَا لَيْسَ بِرَبِّي. So then when the moon disappeared, okay, he said, Ibrahim alayhi salam said, no, this cannot be my Lord, or that couldn't have been my Lord. Actually, this would be better because of hada. Ismul ishara qarib. So it's not dhalika, which is ba'id, right? So it's pointing to the qamar, and it's saying that this couldn't have been my Lord. وطلعت الشمس فقال إبراهيم هذا ربي هذا أكبر. So the sun, when it rose, or basically, yes, it came up basically. فقال إبراهيم, Ibrahim alayhi salam said, هذا ربي هذا أكبر. This is my Lord. This is a great, or the greatest, right? This is greater than all these other things. And so Ibrahim alayhi salam, of course, he was looking at the sun, and as many communities before him too worshipped the sun because of its great benefit to mankind, right? Because of the heat, and because of the agriculture that it provides, all these different things, of course, the benefits. So a lot of people used to do this, and so he's kind of negating all of these different types of shirk in this quest of his. So one thing to point out, طلعت. So, طلعت الشمس. Now, الشمس doesn't really have any sign of being feminine, mu'annith. Okay. However, this is one of the words that's in Arabic language that is known to be mu'annith. Basically, the Arabs use it as mu'annith. So, طلعت الشمس. That's why the ta'nith is used. So, طلعت instead of طلع الشمس. Okay. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And the verb itself, طلعت, or طلع, actually, يطلع. This verb is from the bab nasara yansuru, okay, and طلع يطلع. And one thing about Arabic verbs, it's very important to try to memorize these babs, or these different chapters, you could, or I wouldn't even say chapters. So I would say different ways that the verbs can be used. So, for example, in the form one, the three-letter verb. Okay, thulathi mujarrad. Okay, so in these verbs, there's six different patterns you could say. Okay, so you have nasara yansuru. Okay, so you have to look at the middle letter, the ayn kalima, because it changes. So tala'a yatlu'u. Okay, tala'a yatlu'u, nasara yansuru, and see how they match. Okay, so we'll go inshallah over those at a time, while we're reading inshallah. But these have to be memorized. This was a tricky part when I was learning. Um, that you have to memorize these, and as you build in vocab, you just memorize more and more terms. Okay, and the best way to do is like we're doing right here, reading and seeing it in text and how it's used, and your mind will, as you read more and more, your mind will get accustomed to that, and inshallah later on you will be able to read the text without any type of sign on there. So the next sentence, it says وَلَمَّا غَابَتِ الشَّمْسُ فِي اللَّيْلِ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ لَا هَذَا لَيْسَ بِرَبِّي. So غَابَتِ الشَّمْس, basically and when the sun disappeared at night, Ibrahim alayhi salam said, "This cannot be my Lord. Inna Allah hayyun la yamut. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is living. He does not die. Inna Allah baqin la yaghib. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, you could say, everlasting, or does not, doesn't go away. Okay, is always there. Baqi. It's baqin is actually baqiyun. Okay, baqiyun. Um, it's called manqus, and because it's the first time we're seeing it here, I'll just go over this sentence really quick, even though it's really short. So inna allaha baqin la yaghib. Okay, so to break this down, you have inna, which is harfu nasbin wa tawkid. So it brings emphasis, and it also, remember we talked about this before, that has an ism and it has a khabar. So the ism of inna is laf jalala, which is Allah. Okay, so inna Allah, and then the khabar of inna would be baqin la yaghib. Okay, so baqin la yaghib, and then further breaking it down, so baqin, this is manqus, meaning like it would originally be baqi yun. However, the ya is dropped, and the tanween is actually dropped, and or well, it's turned, the ya leaves a mark, which is the two kasra or the kasratain. So baqin instead of baqiyun. So even though baqin looks like it's in the majrur state because of the tanween or the kasratain, this is actually in marfu', okay? Because originally it would be baqiyun. So that's why it's like this. So it's actually marfu', okay? And La yaghibu, okay? He does not disappear, you could say, or you could translate like ghaba yaghibu, okay? Ghiyabatun. So ghaba yaghibu would mean to disappear. And so he is everlasting, or he is always there, present, and he does not disappear. Inna Allah qawiyyun la yaghlibuhu shay'un. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most powerful. He's qawi. Okay? La yaghlibuhu shay'un, and there is nothing that can overpower him. Okay? There's nothing, or not one thing can overpower him, or nothing can overpower him. And over here, the next thing, وَالْكَوْكَبُ ضَعِيفٌ يَغْلِبُهُ الصُّبْحِ. And the planet, is weak because it can be yaglibuhu, or basically the morning overcomes it. Okay, وَالْقَمَرُ ضَعِيفٌ تَغْلِبُهُ الشَّمْسِ. And the moon is weak because, or why is it weak? Because تَغْلِبُهُ الشَّمْسِ, the sun, or the sun overpowers it. All right, so when the sun comes out, the moon goes away. And also about the planet, you could say, or maybe even the star. So when the morning appears, right, it overpowers the kawkab. وَالشَّمْسُ ضَعِيفَةٌ يَغْلِبُهَا اللَّيْلُ وَيَغْلِبُهَا الْغَيْمُ. So the sun is weak because it is overpowered, or the night actually overpowers it. وَيَغْلِبُهَا الْغَيْمُ, and the clouds, or the cloud overpowers it. Okay, so there's two things. The shams is doubly weak, you could say, because it could be overpowered by the night. Okay, so when the sun sets and the night comes, the sun can no longer be seen, obviously. And when it's very, very cloudy out, okay, that the sun is covered up, and so it's over, or it's defeated, you could say, by that. ولا ينصرني الكوكب لأنه ضعيف. So the kawkab basically cannot help me because it is weak. Okay, the kawkab, or the star or the planet, cannot help me because it is weak. ولا ينصرني القمر لأنه ضعيف. And the moon cannot help me because it is weak. ولا تنصرني الشمس لأنها ضعيفة. Because or the sun cannot help me because she, you could say, or it is weak. وينصرني الله. Okay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can help me. Okay, لأن الله حي لا يموت. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is hayy, He is the living, and He does not pass away, He does not die. وباق لا يغيب. And He is everlasting, or He is always there, and He is never overpowered. Okay, He can never be, nothing can overpower Him. وقوي لا يغلبه شيء. And He is strong, and nothing can overpower Him. Okay, so this is this lesson over here, and I hope, inshallah, you benefited from this. I hope you can listen to this a couple times, and it'll give you a lot of insight on how to translate the word, and so on. Um, One thing we can take really quickly, let's take one of these sentences and break them down. They're very similar, so we'll take the first one over here. وَلَا يَنْصُرُنِي الْكَوْكَبُ لِأَنَّهُ ضَعِيفٌ. So over here we have la yansuru, okay, la nafiya, okay. So this means that it's negating what comes after that, okay. So yansuru ni, okay, and to let's take the sentence first, and then we'll break it. So al kawkabu would be the fa'il, okay. So yansuru, okay. So al kawkab, the planet, cannot help, okay. La yansuru means cannot help. So al kawkabu, the planet cannot help. And then ni would be the mafulun bih. Mafulun bih meaning that it's the object of the sentence. So who cannot help? It cannot help me. So noon al wiqaya, okay, so it's a noon of protection, and ya is ya mutakallim, meaning it's the speaker, right? So yansuruni, and like I said before, nasara yansuru, okay, nasara yansuru. And then لِأَنَّهُ ضَعِيفٌ. So لِأَنَّهُ, li would be harf jar, okay, and then أنه would be ism majroor, okay, and you cannot see it because it would be, you could say, mabni. It wouldn't change, but it would be fi mahalli, um, jarrin. And then anna, and then you have the ism of anna and the khabru anna. So anna is one of the sisters of inna, so it acts the same way. So anna makes the ism of anna mansub. So the who would be actually in the mansub or nasab state, and da'ifun would be its khabar, so it would be in the marfu state. Okay? So inshallah, jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.